Hello children, a very warm welcome to the virtual session again. So let us see what are we going to do today. Chapter 4, sorting materials into groups. So here it's a revision session children for you. As you know, we will continue with the revision. In this revision session, I am going to discuss all the pointers which we have already done in the notebook. You are not going to write anything again. It is just a revision session of all the pointers of the chapter compiled together. So in one session, I have compiled all the pointers, important pointers. We will just go through those pointers and finally we will have some assignment on based on this chapter, that it will be a MCQ based question. So you are going to try that MCQ based question in your notebook. Now you are not going to write anything because you are just going to go through the video. It's a compilation of all the pointers which were discussed earlier for this chapter. So let us continue with the revision. We have seen properties of materials, appearance, hardness, sink or float, soluble, insoluble, transparency. We have seen opaque, transparent, translucent objects or materials. Then what we have seen in appearance, shiny materials that have luster are usually metals. Example, iron, copper, aluminium, gold are all examples of metals and they are shiny, they are lustrous. Materials like paper, cardboard, wood, etc. do not have luster. This is just a revision of all the pointers which we have discussed, compiled in this session. So now next, we have seen hardness. Materials can also be classified on the basis of hardness. Materials can easily be compressed or scratched are called soft materials, like example like cotton, sponge. Materials that cannot be scratched and are difficult to compress are known as hard materials, example chalk, iron. Then we have seen soluble and insoluble substances or materials that can be dissolved in water upon stirring. You have to stir it. It's called soluble materials. For example, sugar and salt you add in water and you stir it, it will dissolve. Even if you don't stir it, you keep it for some time, it will dissolve on its own. So they are soluble materials. Materials that cannot be dissolved in water, no matter how much we stir it, are said to be insoluble materials. We have examples like stone, clothes which we wash with water, but it is not soluble in water. Cannot be dissolved in water. Stone we have sand, sawdust, chalk powder. They will not dissolve in water at all. So now not just solid materials, even liquid have the property of being soluble or insoluble, as you all know. So liquid will also show some solubility. Like for example, lemon juice can easily dissolve in water because you must be preparing lemon sherbet during summer at home. No children. So you will see lemon juice when you add in water, it will dissolve, and then you add sugar and add some kind of masala and all, and you prepare lemon sherbet. So because lemon is soluble in water, while oil does not dissolve. Oil will not dissolve in water, it will form layers. So liquid also may be soluble or insoluble. Now objects may float or sink in water. This property also we have seen. There are some insoluble objects or material which sink to the bottom of the surface when dissolved in water, uh, while other float on the surface of the water. So some float or some sink. Why? We will see uh, examples here. Leaves and corks, they are very light, float in water, while rocks and coin sink in water because they are very higher density. So now let us see what actually happened with them. Density factor of the object determines the object to float or sink. So an object which have a greater density than water, that will sink. An object will have an object if have lower density than water, that will float on water. So higher density than water, it will sink. Lower density than water, it will float. So density means you must have learned the mass upon volume. So an object with higher density will, like coins and rocks, will be high, will have a higher density than water. That's why it will sink. Whereas leaves and corks, they will float in water because they have a lower density than water. So it will float. So this was the concept which we have learned. I think it should be very clear with you. Then we have seen transparency. Objects or materials which can be seen through are said to be transparent objects. For example, glass, clear water and some plastics can be seen through and hence are transparent materials. That means you can see through such materials, and such materials are called as transparent materials. An object and material through which we can see but partially, those are called as translucent. We can see but partially, not completely. We have some example like butter paper, frosted glass are some example of translucent objects. This is all we have done, children. You just have to listen to the video carefully, and you need to recollect those pointers which you have already done. Objects which cannot be seen through are known as opaque objects. You have an example like metals, wood, cardboard are some example of opaque material as you cannot see through them. So these are the properties which we have discussed. Now we understood in this chapter. Initially we had a question, why do we need to group objects? So we got the answer. After towards the end of the chapter we have realized why do we need to group objects. We have already discussed this. It's just a revision. So listen to this, because we often group objects in order to store similar objects together to make locating things easier in future. Even in a home, we store spices together in the kitchen. Washing products should be in the bathroom, that you should know. It is easier and convenient to study them, their properties. That learning of their properties is extremely important. Then only we will be able to find out their applications. Okay, so why we need to have a study of all the objects? Because we should know their properties. Unless and until we know their properties, we won't be able to use them. We won't be able to have in a day-to-day life. We need to use them in a day-to-day life. So like the transparency, glass are transparent, and we need to have a window pane which is transparent so we can see through. That's why we have windows made up of glass instead of opaque materials. So, and the sunlight should enter because of it reflects light. So all that property is extremely important for our day-to-day life, and that's why we need to know their pattern of and the features. That's why we need to group these objects. Now MCQ's assignment for you. Some MCQ questions based on this chapter. That's why I have discussed everything, all the pointers with you all, so that the MCQ assignment will be very easy for you to do. So now you are going to take down MCQ assignment in your notebook, children. Multiple choice question, very simple. You are just going to take down the question and the correct option, correct answer you are going to write. So you are going to only write the right answer. You're not going to copy all the 4 options. Which one of the following is a transparent material? Rock, wood, glass, paper. Now you should know the answers. We have discussed everything. So you will write the answer, only the correct answer with the question in your notebook. Which of the following dissolve in water? Wood, a piece of rock, sugar, plastic. So I think it's very clear with you. You will all be able to do these answers. Which of the following substance is translucent? Wood, sandpaper, oily paper, water. Now you should know which of the following does not float on water? Feather, paper, coconut oil, stone. Aluminum metal is a poor conductor, non-magnetic material, magnetic material, soluble in water. So you should know these properties, and accordingly you will write the correct answer. Glass is opaque, translucent, transparent, none of this. Okay, next. Which of the following is soluble in water? Common salt, chalk powder, sand, plastic. Which of the following is a good conductor of heat and electricity? Silver, aluminium, copper, iron. So these all very simple MCQs you are going to write down in your notebook. That much only you are going to write for the day, children. 8 MCQs I have discussed with you, and you are going to find the right answer. I am very much hopeful that you have understood the concept and you will be able to do these MCQs very easily. Thank you, children. I hope the concepts are clear and MCQs will be very easy for you to write in your notebook. You have to write only MCQs. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day.